giving us that information. Shifting our focus to the big debate of the hour. In a landmark case that's raising hopes for faster justice in India, a special POCSO court in Pune has sentenced a 65-year-old Bhima Rao Kamble to death for the brutal rape and murder of a 3-year-old girl in Nasrapur village in Pune. The heinous crime occurred on 1st of May when the accused kidnapped the toddler, assaulted her for around 39 minutes and murdered her, leaving the body in a cattle shed. Evidence including DNA, medical reports, CCTV and witness testimonies led to a swift conviction in just 55 days. This rapid trial and death sentence, described by the court as a rarest of rare case, has raised the question of whether this will set a strong precedent for speedy justice in child sexual assault and murder cases, or remain an exception in a system where such cases often take years to conclude. To open up this conversation, I am being joined by Shobal Singh. She's a social activist. Shobal, thank you very much for joining us. And such a heinous crime that has been committed against a 3-year-old child, no less. This man has not shown any remorse. In fact, forget about showing remorse, he's not even accepted that he killed the girl and he raped her. There has been, thankfully, a fast-track trial that has taken place, and the court has termed it as the rarest of rare crimes and sentenced him to death. Do you think this can set a precedent for such cases in the future in our country?
Yes, absolutely. This is a very, decision which has come, and people who will listen to this judgment, which has been a speedy trial. The most important thing is that we have to decide cases very fast. Most of the times it happens that the punishment is, delayed. And when the punishment is delayed, then it loses its significance. So if this trial has happened and if this has been, the judgment has come, and this man definitely needs to be hanged with the kind of, the crime which he's done. And this sets a precedence for other people, especially men, young or older, that they cannot get away with these kind of assaults, especially for these young girls who can't even say anything, even to protect themselves.
Okay.
So I think this is a major decision which is coming in today.
Shamsher Rain also on the telecast with me. She's an advocate of the Supreme Court. Shamsher, I am going to also give an example of this Pune murder that has, grabbed headlines for the last 2 weeks ever since it surfaced. That case has also been speedily taken up, first by the police and then presented in the court of law. Are we seeing a transformation in the way our courts and the justice system works? Or do you think it is because of the media glare that authorities end up being pressured to take action?
No, I would say that even the courts are action fed up. Even the government is a lot of fed up with all such kind of matters. So yes, even the courts also want that a speedy trial should happen in matters that related to rapes and especially crime against women. So this is what the change even the courts and the government are trying to do. But yes, the media pressure is always there. It's wonderful that the media actually covers such kind of a crime, wherein the media puts so much of pressure on different authorities, bodies, so that they could take swift action in such kind of matters. So it's good that a speedy trial has happened in this matter, and the person has been given a death sentence in the matter. But
Absolutely.
as per the law, he has and then the matter would go to the Supreme Court and then further to the President of India. It would take some time. Let's see how much time will it take. But the trial court has done a very the trial court has done a very good job here, wherein the investigation agency has filed investigating report that is of 1,200 pages, and on basis of that there were many witnesses, and on basis of that the trial court has given this judgment. So it
Okay,
is
all right.
very important to
I'm
set.
also being, yeah, fair enough. I'm also being joined by Susi Ben Shah. She is the former Maharashtra Child Rights Commission chairperson. This judgment by the POCSO court has been lauded by the Maharashtra Chief Minister. Maharashtra Chief Minister also intervened in the Pune Fort murder case as well. He has instructed that the other case also be fast-tracked. How important does it become for our lawmakers, for our political figures who are governing the state or governing the country to make such important interventions to allow for justice to be given to the victim and their family members?
Yes, good evening and thank you for having me on your show, and a very good evening to all my esteemed panelists and your viewers as well. I think it is a hallmark judgment, and I not only have served as the chairperson of Child Right Commission but also the Women's Commission of Maharashtra, and therefore I can say very firmly today that this government of Maharashtra, only rule of law prevails, and safety, security and dignity of each and every woman and child of Maharashtra, which accounts for 60% of the total population, is a priority for this Mahayuti government. I would also like to tell you this, that why this is so important for all of us, for all the women of women of Maharashtra and of all the mothers of Maharashtra in India, is because the FIR was filed within a day. 15 days, exhaustive, rock solid charge sheet, watertight charge sheet was filed, and within 50 days, within 60 days, a clear judgment has come up, and it is a watertight judgment. In the sense, the not only 55 witnesses, 150 pages judgment, but the entire thing, the logic behind how is it the rarest of rare cases? How in the past this man has assaulted women and children of his own family? Everything is very detailed put up, because should the person go in appeal, which also is his fundamental right, it would not stand in the court, and this Fasi, you call it hanging will be held properly. A proper judgment was given.
Yeah.
Thirdly,
Okay.
and most importantly, I would also laud the media, who always stands by these people. No wonder you are the fourth pillar of democracy. And since you guys do such a brilliant job in protecting the safety and security dignity of women, that this today, within 60 days, a landmark judgment has been delivered.
Okay, all right. I'm also being joined by Advocate Rakhi Dubey. Advocate Dubey, again, the same question. Has a precedent been set? Do you think there is a transformation of our judiciary, of our law and enforcement agencies today?
See, the new laws, the new criminal laws have a time set frame for everything to be done in a time set manner so that the speedy justice may be delivered. The charge sheet has to be filed within 30 days. The charges has to be framed accordingly. So each and every stages have their time frame. If the police and the judicial system work according to the time frame set in the new laws, we will be able to see this speedy justice in other manners, other similar cases also. And precisely our criminal system is reformative in manner. But this person has no scope of reformation, and that is the reason he has been hanged, because he has a past history of similar cases. So court has very beautifully considered each and every evidences, which has completed the chain and has ruled out the possibility, and the prosecution has been able to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt that he is the one who has done it. Because and for that, I must appreciate the investigating agency has done a wonderful job. If the investigating agencies work like this, every accused will be hanged to death or will be convicted. Because the people who are being acquitted is just because investigating agency does not investigate the case properly. So I would request that investigating agencies should work in similar manner. Then only people will be able to see more such judgments and beautiful precedents, so that the people may be able to get justice and the innocent may not suffer in future, and there may be law and order in the society, and the females, especially the young people. She was just 3 years old child and he is 65 years. Well, I just can't understand his mindset. So these kind of
Right.
people should be hanged to death, and I should appreciate the
Okay,
media
all right,
because
fair
it
enough.
considers.
I have one question to Sham Sharif. You know, when you talk about having these watertight cases where investigation or evidences and proofs have been provided in the courts, and I obviously want to bring, you know, I can't help but mentioning the Nirbhaya case, where the judgment had been passed and it took years together because of the appeals that continued to be made, loopholes that the defense was trying to find, and finally these men who were the rapists and the murderers of Nirbhaya were hanged to death. Uh, do you think since then and now there has been a change, a palpable change that our judiciary, our justice system has seen?
I would say that since judiciary works on black and white only, so thing is written. The procedure, how it should work, everything is written over there. So when you are working as per law, as so your decisions would come as per law. So no, since Nirbhaya till date, not a lot have changed because the laws are same, everything is same. Of course, the new act came, but then it was just a bit here and there. But otherwise, it's almost similar to the previous IPC and the CRPC and all. So it is still slow. The process is still there. But yes, since the judiciary themselves are saying that we are overburdened and we are ourselves in a mind wherein we want that these matters, at least the rape matters, should be heard on a very priority basis. So that is where the mindset of the judges is what is bringing the change in this in such
Okay.
kind of matters.
Okay, all right.
But
Let me
again, the
also
process
yeah, fair
same,
enough.
process same.
Shobha Singh, how do we protect our children, our girls and boys alike? You know, a 3-year-old who has been raped and murdered, there has been a sexual assault on her. I was reading a very, you know, ghastly incident that has taken place in United Kingdom just a month ago, where there was a gay couple. They adopted a 6-month-old child, and by the time the child was 9 months of age, he was already dead. And it was found after investigation that these two men were raping the child. I mean an infant, a 9-year-old infant dies because he died of suffocation because of the unnatural sex that was forced upon him. So how, I mean, this is it's not something that is peculiar to just India. Universally, such crimes are being committed with such, you know, these murderers, these heinous crimes that continue to be happening across the world, in our country and other places as well. How do we protect our children from this?
I think what I feel is that our childhood, I mean, whichever crime is happening by anyone, anywhere in the world, it begins from that person's childhood trauma or any problem which the child faced during his, upbringing. So I think we need to focus, and the mothers, and I guess everyone needs to focus on bringing
But
up
we can't
children.
discount the fact that simply
No,
because there
we
was some
cannot, we
trauma
cannot.
that a person faced during his childhood, therefore he is justified to
No,
commit
I'm
that
not saying
crime.
that. It is not justified. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have to have rules and regulations for whatever is happening, which we have. We do have the law with us, and we have all these rules, and but still things are happening. So we need to really look into this. What is the actual reason? And the actual reason has to begin from home. I personally feel, I'm sure there would be people who would defy this, but yes, it has to start from home. You have to inculcate your children wherever they are that you have to be morally correct and you have to do things right. You know, even abusing a child will begin from some trauma at home. I mean, it is a mental health problem. I'm sure there is some mental problems which people ignore all the time. And if you see all these murders happening, what happened with this Pune incident where this woman pushed this man. What was it? She was so young. She was 19 years old. But there was definitely some problem mentally which she was facing, which people are not ready to
Okay,
accept.
okay,
And
fine,
now
fair
with
enough.
Twitter-
I mean, you're making a point, but
Yes.
like I said, can this be justified by saying that there was mental pressure, there was physical pressure, there was a person who was not treated right in his childhood or their childhood, and therefore they acted the way that they did? Are we at this point of time then, unconsciously, subconsciously, then giving a clean chit to these people, these people
it's
who
not
commit these
justified.
crimes? Susie Ben Shah, again, how can governments, agencies like the Child's Rights Commission, the Women's Rights Commission, help in protecting the people of our country?
Yes, I think, there cannot be we can't be policing each and every citizen of India, and therefore the sensitization process and the feeling amongst us that we have to stand for each other, and especially the women, that we must stand for each other. Should we find any woman harassed, tortured, suffering from any trauma, it should be upon us to bring it to the knowledge of the authorities. And I would say with a lot of confidence in Maharashtra, as far as the public prosecutors are concerned, the support persons, the public prosecutor are also trained to handle the cases of involving children and women carefully. They are sensitized. We have support person existing, that where a child and the family is being guided when the entire trial process goes on. The police, that is the first port of call when a person is troubled, goes to the police station. Each and every police station has a child protection officer, and each of them are trained. Each of them are trained how to handle very sensitively such cases. And therefore, if you see in this case also, it has stood in the court of law because of systematic investigation. There were no loopholes. I do tend to agree that the same procedure is followed by the CRPC, maybe the name is changed, or the IPC. But the investigation, the sensitization, the society, the media are not going to take this lying down.
But again, but this specific case, this particular case, I mean, do you think this could have been averted? Maybe the family members of the girl could have been more protective towards her. Maybe if a stranger was approaching her, so if the stranger was approaching her, they could have prevented that. They could have understood that,
Can I come in, please,
but at
for
the
a
same,
minute?
I'm completing my question. I'm going to ask you to give me an answer for that as well. But at the same time, how do you prevent such a crime? It's a 3-year-old child. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't even know what is happening to her. She's a toddler.
Daily wage earner.
And
this fellow, the haramkhor, sorry to use that word, was a daily
I'm
wage
sorry,
earner.
you
He was
cannot use
employed
such
with-
words on national television, ma'am. But go
Sorry,
ahead.
I'm so sorry, but it is the emotions. But sorry, you can remove that word. But he was working as a daily wage laborer at a person's company. Now, I think everyone should be duty bound to do a police verification, have a background check. That man was in a temple premise. There was work going on in the temple, and he was a daily wage laborer. He was staying in the same cattle shed where our little girl was assaulted. So therefore, the person, as a society at large, whomsoever we employ, we have to be duty bound. We have to be sensitive enough to check who are we employing. He was, in fact, he was.
I will again give an example of what happened in United Kingdom. There were these two men who adopted a child, raped the child, killed him in the process. There was due diligence done to vet them, to check their antecedents, and it still happened. They did not have any criminal background whatsoever, and it still happened. Last word from Advocate Rakhi Dubey. How do we, again the question, how do we protect our children?
We have to train our children from the beginning only that they should not mingle with the unknown persons. If the unknown person is, in this case,
how do you know our 3-year-old? How would she know who an unknown person is versus who a known person is? A 6-month-old infant. A 6-month-old infant, they don't even know what is happening to them around them.
They have to be with that child. Because these monsters are there in the society, we have to take care. And with these of the cases, if we have more of these kind of judgment, I'm sure these monsters will have to understand that if they will do this thing, there's no easy way. They will be hanged, and the hanging will be the only solution.
Okay.
So
Susie Sham Sharif wants to make a point. Sham Sharif, 30 seconds before I wrap this up.
My only way, the only way to get to know it is not only the background check, the mental health should also be seen of every person.
Right.
It's mental health. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mental health, you are
Absolutely.
asking a child to for adoption, you are hiring everyone at your place, but there is no mental health checkup. That is compulsory. That should be there.
Absolutely.
So you get to know what kind of mindset of that
Yes.
person is who would be working at your place. And it's not only men. Even the female also should be checked that what is their mental health, because we have seen in the courts a lady is been doing wrong things with the child, be it harming, be it meeting, be
No,
it
absolutely. Yeah. I completely agree. I completely agree. All right. I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast and sharing your views.